Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network podcast. I am your host, Anthony Ragucci, and this is Replay, Relive, and Reexperience, or as we like to call it, Re3, is where you guessed it. We do all three of those things to our favorite video games. In this edition of Re3, we're going to be replaying, reliving, and re-experiencing the Halo franchise, starting with Halo Combat Evolved and ending with Halo 5 Guardians in anticipation for, you guessed it, Halo Infinite at the end of this year. Here to go on Master Chief's journey with me, as always, the triple threat, Chris Trio. What's up, man?
Not much, dude. How are you?
I'm good.
It's good to hear.
I'm good.
I'm ready to discuss a little Halo.
And our guest for this journey, you've seen him on a few podcasts at this point because he's been in a few episodes. And then Metro, I don't know really why I'm recapping that because I said it in the beginning, but I'll just say it again.
Wait, you were on the Metro review?
I plead the fifth.
That's why it was so good.
Chris Geddes, welcome.
Yay.
Chris, how are you?
I'm good. Happy to be back.
Happy to have you.
Yeah, what I have to not do is like intro you like it's like the first time you're here, even though we're like 4 episodes in.
sure.
And I'm being serious. I'm going to keep this in
No,
the recording.
no, absolutely.
Act as if like it's a totally new podcast. No, you've been here. All right. So on this episode, we're going to be talking about the Silent Cartographer and the assault on the control room. But before we jump into that,
Big butt.
Chris Geddes is going to be the keeper of the terminal for this entire series. Is going to. We forgot to do the terminal from Truth and Reconciliation, so we're just gonna do that right at the top, and then we're gonna talk about Master Chief pooping.
Yeah, we found out our answer.
Oh, we did?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
I
did
knew
some
you were gonna be
digging.
excited.
Now I'm ready. I'm pumped. This is
Yeah.
what I was here for.
I didn't read it because I'm like, I just want the reaction to be like wholesome. I'm not gonna read it.
This is amazing. I'm so excited. Please
So
start.
let's talk about that terminal.
Sure. So, and first, it's actually located on the bridge right behind the Zealot that you kill.
Yeah.
Right before you find keys. So in this terminal, we see Guilty Spark having a conversation with an unknown construct. Pretty sure it's a Covenant AI.
It's the Covenant AI.
Yeah, it's like their
for the
version.
ship. Yeah.
He asks who it is, and the construct responds with sadness and disrepair. He then states he is unworthy and he was never made. Guilty Spark responds with never made, but you are right here where you should not be. The camera pans back to Guilty Spark, and he says in a commanding voice, "Tell your charges to cease their efforts immediately. Quarantine must not be violated." We are then shown a Covenant CCS-class battlecruiser, otherwise known, they're the ships that glassed Reach, closing in on Installation 04. 343 Guilty Spark then tells the construct to respond to him, to which the construct states, "Jumbled grasp, familiar terms, I serve, none serve me, Oracle." 343 Guilty Spark says, once again tells him to tell your charges to cease all aggression to the Reclaimers and leave this installation at once. You then see cells dividing under a microscope. After that, 343 says, your construct, you are dangerously close to unleashing a force you cannot yet comprehend, which is the Flood.
Right.
You see like an elite hand start to
turn.
Yeah, like the fucking
I need
lines and shit come out.
I've been kind of skipping these. I need to actually watch the video.
Yeah,
I mean, just look them up if you don't
yeah,
find
yeah,
them.
it's like a 25-minute video. Yeah.
Like I think I only found 2 of them for the first 4.
They are interesting. They give you context to a lot of stuff.
And those were, and I think we said this on the last podcast, but those were introduced in Combat Evolved, right? Those weren't that way.
What?
Were there terminals there in the original?
Oh, no,
of
this is
any
the
kind?
anniversary.
This is the
They
anniversary.
never existed.
They never
to be,
existed.
Okay,
Because they were popular in three. So then when they went back and
I'm really excited to play 2 and 3.
oh yeah,
I'm like now. I'm like it's funny. Like
At the end of this episode, since it's halfway through, I'm going to ask where you guys are with it, even though we have kind of alluded to it. But
yeah.
Continue.
343 then says, "This is quite unsatisfactory, construct. Your core shows no inch of understanding the gravity of the situation. I will return later for your proper decommissioning. Well, unless the Flood kills us all first, in which case the point will be moot. Good day, construct." It's a little sassy motherfucker.
It's goofy because like the Covenant AI is like clearly like I'm just doing my job.
Yeah,
dude.
he's like, dude, I don't know.
I'm
what to
just
tell
here.
you, man. Yeah.
I'm just. I don't know.
It's like the guy behind the counter. It's like, sir, I can't change the policy here. You need to wear the mask. Well, I don't. You know what, man? No. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see that the that Guilty Spark is kind of like not that he cares, but because like I guess spoiler, he's kind of evil. I don't even know.
We'll find that out in the
I don't
next
even know
terminal.
what he is. He just kind of like. He doesn't like serve the Forerunners, but he serves, I guess, himself.
Yeah, he kind of has like his own
Like agenda.
yeah.
Even
Well,
though he's like,
self-serving.
even though he's like, he's supposed to serve the Forerunners. So basically, we're getting alluded to like the Covenant, which we'll get to. Actually, it's actually perfect that we did it this way.
Yeah.
Because in the Solomon control room, we're gonna find out that the Covenant found something, and Chief needs to go fucking sprint over to that. We'll talk about
He'll
that.
walk. He can't sprint yet.
Yeah, facts. That's a fact.
Well, he doesn't walk. He does a light jog,
brisk jog.
Yeah, jogging. Some may say.
So, let's get into it. The Silent Cartographer. The synopsis goes as, the Covenant believe that the Silent Cartographer is somewhere...
I'm sorry. Did we skip over Master Chief pooping?
Oh!
I had to stop here really quick. For God's sake.
Excuse me.
That's the only goddamn reason I'm here right now.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see.
All right. Yeah, so we're going back to that dilemma of like, does Master Chief eat and / poop in his suit?
Or is he prairie dogging the whole way?
Or is he just pissing? Is it all just liquid nutrients? I'm so curious.
You're kind of right.
I thought so. I was like,
So urine is collected via a catheter and is filtered and used as a drinkable resource, as is water processed and filtered out of fecal matter collected via a colostomy tube connecting to the filtration system located in the thighs.
I fucking knew it.
I found the context of that. So in the book, I believe Halo Glasslands, page 212.
He's got the source.
Yeah, I've got the source. Naomi,
fucking
who's
love
another Spartan.
Spartan 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's actually the first one to wear the Spartan Mjolnir Mark 7. Oddly enough, I looked that up on the...
Is the Mark 7 after? That's after Chiefs, right? Or his original.
What is he wearing in 4? Mark 7?
6. No, he's wearing...
I don't know. I actually don't even know if that suits Mjolnir. I think it is. Anyway.
Interesting.
But so
we will find
someone
out.
asked her, so bathroom breaks, he asked very quietly. Naomi pauses a beat. I'm catheterized. Another reason why this machine has to be so precisely calibrated. This suit plugs me in a lot of places. Think of it as a weaponized life support unit. It recycles urine too.
I thought
Who's
so.
she
You know
saying
that's
this to?
So I think I don't know who she's saying it to. I think it's like a Marine or
someone's
something like that.
Because honestly, I would, if I was a Marine, I'd be like, listen, I'm sorry, but I have to ask.
It's been like
what
a
is
week.
happening
You
here?
haven't
Do you
eaten
like?
anything.
You haven't eaten anything. I haven't seen you shit. What are you doing? And
Well,
then
I'm
she'd
sure-
be like, and honestly, that would be my first thought. I'd be like, do you have like some type of system rigged up in there? So that's actually what. So it literally connects to you. The suit.
Yeah, they're specially made for people.
That makes sense.
But I mean, he could always just take his helmet off and
Eats, if
Yeah,
he
yeah.
really wanted to.
But that's
But
Master,
he can
Master
just
Chief don't do
Yeah.
that.
So,
he don't
so
need
it
to
just like he never needs. It just process. Wow.
yeah.
And honestly, you know what that kind of sounds like? I just read Doom or Dune, I should say, and it reminds me of the still suits a lot. In that the way they basically, in that they collect they collect your piss. It collects like all your extra stuff, refilters it back, and then you use all that liquid. Yeah, not good.
I mean,
It's not fun.
It's like,
there's
one of
no
those, like,
water
life
on that
straws.
planet. So
I was giving a weird face.
yeah, he's giving a little bit of a
While I
scowl.
wasn't saying
But yeah,
it.
you get to have some nice sterilized piss and some nice sweat and and your
Nutrients?
saliva that they wear. It's kind of interesting, but yeah, it sounds disgusting and terrible, and I would never want to live on that
I'm
planet.
glad we covered that.
Yeah,
I'm glad we got
I
that.
really am too. This is why we created this podcast, to get those hard-hitting answers to those questions that we need.
you're goddamn right.
Exactly.
So going back to the synopsis, the Covenant believe that the Silent Cartographer is somewhere under the island. With multiple structures concealing an installation, Master Chief leads the UNSC Marines in an assault on the island that contains the map room for the Halo installation in order to locate the control room. So you're probably asking, what is the Silent Cartographer? It's like a kind of cryptic thing. Well, the Silent Cartographer is referred to by the Covenant is the map room for the Halo installations, and it can pinpoint and access every room or location on or beneath Halo surface. So it's essentially like, what it sounds like. It's pretty obvious. But
Pretty
like,
self-explanatory.
right. If it wasn't, but the name is like, why is it called the Silent Cartographer? I guess it's just the name the Covenant gave it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they
They
have
just
cool
liked it.
names.
Yeah, it
we
sounded-
went
they do.
over this. Yeah.
So
They know what they're doing.
we're dropping in on the Pelicans to that opening beach battle. Guys, what do you think? This is a pretty iconic moment.
I love this mission.
No, it's a lot of fun.
This is probably my favorite mission in the
It
game.
is, because
Just-
it really is.
Both of you? It's
well,
it's
so
kind of
far,
like D-Day.
definitely.
Gives me like a D-Day World War II vibe, you know?
Well, you're
Yeah.
really
Chilling
kind of
on the
hitting them
beach.
hard. Yeah, it
and the
feels
music,
like a full-on. Yeah.
and the music.
Gameplay wise, I don't think it's like, I'm not sitting here going, look, this holds up spectacularly, and I would recommend, but like, yes, it's a lot more. You're in it, you're going through, and sure, you're moving from area to area, killing things, but they give you a lot of fun things to kill those things with.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you get like a bunch of new weapons on this. You get to get in some vehicles and stuff like that. That is this level, right? I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like,
You get in the Warthog.
yeah, you get in the
right
Warthog.
after this
You
fight.
get into
You can
a
just
bunch of different stuff. But it's fun.
pretty sure
Definitely
you
a lot
can
of
just
fun.
like turn around and like walk the other way and go grab the Warthog. That's like next to the
Yeah,
Pelican.
I think you're supposed to go. I can't counterclockwise, but you can go clockwise if you want to. You don't really have to go the way that it.
Interesting.
I guess that it alludes to.
Yeah.
But like, you remember there's a Pelican downed at that one spot. It's not there in the beginning of the level, but it is later. So one of the Marines that is actually with you, there are two Marines of note that are with you here, and actually are with you. One of them is at the installation beam emitter thing in Halo. Marcus Stacker.
Let's get it going, Marines!
Master Sergeant Marcus P. Stacker is a veteran UNSC Marine shock trooper who fought during the Human Covenant War. Marcus P. Stacker is a tough, energetic Marine. Although he can be quite reckless in certain situations, he is a very competent leader who has seen his fair share of war. Having survived many battles, including all discovered Halo installations, Stacker has fought a lot alongside Master Chief on many occasions, often providing assistance in vital situations. Whether it was offering the Spartan 2 a vehicle, weapon, or a compliment, Stacker harbors a great respect for Spartan 117. Having survived the Battle of Installation Zero and the end of the Human Covenant War, he is one of the few surviving members of the UNSC that can say truly fought alongside Master Chief. He literally is through the 1 through 3. He's there, and I think he's in 4. Yeah. And there's another Marine Easter egg. He's the Australian Marine. His name's Chips Dubbo.
Who's your daddy? Me! Sit down, bitch! That's another! Anyone gonna help me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, you may have unlocked...
Chips Dubbo.
Yeah. All right, Chief.
Crikey.
Yeah, that's Chips Dubbo.
Yeah.
There's actually achievements relating to Easter eggs about him.
That's
you may have
amazing.
just randomly gotten it, yeah.
So
I don't know when this guy was named, but it's like in canon. He is Chips Dubbo.
Chips Dubbo.
Weird
That's
sidebar. I joined when I got on. Like, I can't remember when it happened. It might have been this mission, but I just like for some reason getting into the game, I popped all these achievements for like things that I was
gonna say that you just like
I was
open
just
up a game and you'll
randomly
get,
like getting like it was like completed this many matches or done this that, and I'm like I didn't do any of this like and it just was popping all these achievements.
yeah, it happens.
It was weird.
Wait, what? Like
Just
what?
like random achievements.
Like what
pop up.
achievements?
Like they were like,
Like-
multiplayer achievements.
Yeah,
Like and I was like I haven't
kill
been
a-
playing any I mean maybe before I was like when I had it back, but like.
What kind of achievements are popping here for?
So like
for
there,
you
I know
guys?
one that pops is the one where like kill a dev or someone who has like the same thing on, you get that, or like get a completed match on this day, you'll sometimes get that.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't do any. It was
Yeah.
just funny. Sidebar.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, am I missing a glitch that I really want? Because I have to. I want to get all the achievements in this game.
Good
if that
luck.
ever happens.
How many
Yeah.
achievements does it have?
Too many.
A lot. I think
Yeah.
it's got 7,000 gamer score. It's the most of any Xbox game,
Jeez.
including Reach and ODST.
Jesus.
I think it's 7,000. I could be wrong.
700.
No way.
Full list of 700
Oh, 700 achievements.
achievements. Yeah.
Gamer score is what?
7,000.
Yeah, I was right. So, after this battle, we kind of drive. We're kind of looking for like an entrance to find the Sarlacc.
Can we go back to Fohammer? I love
yeah.
the line that she says when they're like calling for the Warthog. She goes, she's like, you know our motto, we deliver. I
Yeah, we
love that
deliver.
line.
We deliver.
We deliver. She's awesome. She's an awesome character.
Yeah, it's interesting that they kill her off and they never really replace her.
Yeah.
There's never a Pelican like her in the rest of the series, which is interesting. There is a Marine in Halo 3 that I like to make fun of, but I'll get to her. Yeah, so as we're kind of going up the beach, we find one of these caves and we're kind of going in and we're going to go to where the silent cartographer is. And this is the second time we see the hunters, but this is the first time we encounter the hunters with a pistol. So I wanted to talk about the fact that like the hunters are supposed to be super powerful, but like they can die with one hit in the back with a
One
pistol.
hit in the back.
Oh, I did not even know that.
You never knew
Wait,
that?
what?
I don't know. I guess I didn't notice
Dude,
it. Like,
walk up to a hunter and just
Get
pop
behind
one
it.
to the
pop
back.
him
Get
in
behind
the
it.
back, and
Yeah.
he'll just instantly
I didn't
die.
And
notice
it's like a headshot.
On any difficulty.
Any difficulty.
That's great.
It is. I don't really understand it. It's like kind of amusing.
yeah.
Like, yeah, they're supposed to be the hardest enemy in the game, and they die like super easy. The hunters in this game aren't that bad to kill. And this is also where we can find our next terminal.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right what's that, like center?
Yeah,
like,
this like center disc thing, and it's like
it's all like on the left if you're looking at the hunters the first time you see them.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you go ahead and grab that, you'll get a cool achievement. So it opens with 343 Guilty Spark again. He says, entropy. It has now been 3,000 years since my last contact with any of the other caretakers of the Halo array. So you're kind of thinking like, what's going on? Why hasn't anyone contacted him? And who knows? So then he reads he gets a recording made by 2401 Penitent Tangent. Said,
Great names.
yeah, great names. So prior to this total communication shutdown, the only message I received in the preceding 4,500 years were from Penitent Tangent. And it was even one. He suspected that monitor 2401 wasn't even functioning correctly for some time before his messages ceased.
I'm pretty sure he is the monitor for Delta Halo, which is in Halo 2. Gravemind captures him.
Oh, is he the one that we see in the cutscene?
Yeah,
that he's holding?
I'm pretty sure there's one that's bias. I think it's Mendicant bias, and I think he's in the terminals. I can't remember if that's right, but I think I'm mistaking what was it, Penitent
Tangent?
Tangent, yeah. I'm pretty sure Penitent Tangent is the one that the Gravemind has in 2.
And then, yeah, and basically 343 goes into like kind of this like stasis, like this hibernation, he calls it. And he wakes up after 150 years, and as he reactivates, his eye flashes from blue to red. And we get the first like glimpse into his rampancy. And what's cool about this is later on he says, I'm aware of the dangers of a system such as myself losing operational focus. For amusement, I have begun a series of experiments involving the evacuation of all matter from contained sections of my installation. And in the terminal, he like breaks apart the land in the Halo and it just shoots into space. So like everything, land, trees, anything that's in there, he's just sending into space just to see what happens. So yeah, he says, by measuring the geologic effects of exposure to the vacuum of space and the eventual biological recovery of these sections, I anticipate gaining valuable insight into emergency response scenarios in case of flashing. We get a bright red flash and a ship comes crashing into the terminal or into installation 04, and that's where it ends. Ooh. Cool thing about this ship, we'll talk about it in the next terminal, but it kind of looks like a Reaper from Mass Effect.
Really?
Yeah, I have a picture of it right here. Kind of small, if you want to.
Oh yeah, it
kind of with like
it's like a parasite bug looking guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Huh.
Very interesting.
Absolutely.
Your hair is so messed up.
Crazy. Like, I'm so ready.
That's why I don't wear a hat.
Ever since you found out about Master Chief
we're
pooping.
not on camera right now, so the reason I wear a hat is so I don't have to. What, am I distracting you, Gooch?
It was a little. I don't care. I just had to point it out.
What's so ridiculous?
So yeah, we find the Cartographer in the shrine, which actually gets us to another location of it. Actually, so it opens
door?
where the silent Cartographer actually is. So
And that like elite comes out, right?
yeah, and then
I love driving the Warthog down there and then killing it.
Yeah.
Because then another one would spawn. It would just spawn right on top of it.
Yeah.
Or you could just leave the Marines down there and they'll just gun him down as soon as he comes out.
Oh my god.
And after we make our way to that door, go down, fight some Covenant, we find the Cartographer, which gives us the location of the control room. And Cortana's flight path leads us underground through the tunnels for an underground aerial insertion. And that is the level. It is pretty short.
Pretty short. Yeah.
Were you about to say something?
No.
So I do have some level trivia. The
Level trivia. Sorry.
Level trivia. All right. Is that a thing?
That's it now.
Is that a thing?
That's what it is now.
The engineers were meant to be on this level, but were deleted from the game, although not the map's code. So you know the engineers, right? The big the
ODST?
shield guys, little wormy, cute dudes. Bungie stated that the Silent Cartographer was sort of a sandbox for where they just threw a lot of things to test them out, like lighting, graphics, weapons, or vehicles. It was not initially intended to be a level. The original objective of the mission was to assassinate a prophet who was trying to fight the Silent Cartographer.
So there are
I found that interesting.
Are there no prophets in this game? Are there?
No.
Right.
They're never, I don't think they're never named. None.
They're not,
Like, you never even know.
As of
like,
now,
yeah.
they don't exist.
Yeah.
And then the last one, which is I love. This level is featured in a famous early viral internet video called the Jump Program, which is Yeah, which is look up Halo. Just look up Halo jump program. It should be like one of the first videos you find. It's from like 2006, but it's earlier than that.
26.
26.
Guys, is that what I said?
Yeah, it's okay. But all the way back to 26.
Yeah, it was a
I love it.
2006. Yeah.
240p, baby.
Yeah,
It
but
worked. I get what you
I
meant.
think it's from 2002 actually, but yeah, it's a video of like some dude like basically just throwing grenades at the ground and like flipping the warthog like as high as he can. Did you watch any of that?
No, I haven't.
It's
awesome.
like it's just kind of funny. Like it's a very early internet video, and you can tell by just watching it.
240p, baby.
Yeah,
Looks great.
yeah, it's in
God.
shitty quality, and he puts like all the early 2000s songs you can imagine in there.
Amazing.
With like a Matrix reference in the beginning.
Of course.
Because remember
that's
in the Matrix where Morpheus goes, initiate the jump program.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the start of the video. I just
Oh
want
my
to throw that in
God,
there because
that's
as we get to
amazing.
Halo like 3, you know, I feel like we have to talk about like machinima
Machinima, rocket
eventually and
jumps,
stuff.
all that stuff.
Yeah, like all that like
Absolutely.
internet stuff that
Memification
comes
almost,
out of the game, memes and
And,
you know,
yeah,
just
you know,
internet content.
That kind of
of
like
course.
machinima. That was like my childhood growing up.
I don't really.
Watching all-
I
Did
don't
you
know if
watch
it-
any Machinima?
Not much. No, I don't think
Digital
so.
Fear, wasn't it? Do you remember him?
I don't think so.
I think he made a series called Ex Machina
Maybe.
before the movie Ex Machina,
Huh.
or maybe it was called Machina or something. I don't think he ever finished it, but I was super into it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I have
What a-
I have a fun fact about
What a
Silent
time.
Cartographer.
Oh yeah, go for it.
So those two hunters, they're actually named.
I saw that.
This is
Yeah.
actually really cool. They're actually named, and during John 117 assault on Installation 04's map room, Igado and Ogata, that's their names, were sent to protect the main facility after, Zuka Zamame's first attempt to kill John 117 failed. He stood at the entrance to the facility whilst Ogata jumped down to the beach to attack the Spartan. Private Hosky and an unnamed corporal charged foolishly towards the hunter after their warthog was overturned, and Igito watched as his bond brother attacked and killed the Marines, only to die at the hand of John 117. This enraged him and caused him to fire his assault cannon, his little fusion cannon, until it overheated. Then John 117 accidentally decapitated it with a rocket. Wild. He decapitated it with a rocket that impacted directly in the head.
Jesus.
So wait, is this is like when does that happen?
That's in the book, in the flood.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
so they
during, like, the
recount the events of that encounter.
They recount, like, it's a retelling of the whole game.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
like-
what the flood is.
Yeah, and
Oh.
like Master Chief, it's weird because the guy who wrote it, he doesn't work with Bungie anymore. I think they like kind of stepped away because he gave Master Chief more of like a soul.
personality.
Yeah, like he would pick up dog tags after fallen Marines and stuff. He talked more. It was, and like they went into more depth about keys and Cortana and stuff like that. But yeah, it's basically just a retelling of the first game. And they just go into more detail about what happens.
Yeah, that's kind of like novelizations.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they're gonna go into more detail about like utterly mundane things.
It's funny, like, so they are making that Halo TV show, right?
I have no idea.
No, like what, like John, like he's cast, like Master Chief is.
Oh
cast.
yeah, they
yeah,
are.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Like,
you're right.
so
Who knows?
I wonder what that. Do you think he's keeping this? This is just a very random sidebar. I think now that Mandalorian has had a character that has his helmet on 99.9% of the time, I think they can do that TV show with him never taking his helmet off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh,
truly,
they're
and
not.
I think
They can't.
I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, why do they never make this into a movie? Like truly, because like this isn't a video game where I feel like you have to put all this like crazy.
Forward Unto Dawn.
Well,
that's
just
a live
District
action.
9
Forward
was
Unto Dawn's
going to-
really good.
Well,
District
but
9.
District 9 was going to be a Halo movie,
And
right?
then Nightfall. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then so like, but I think they truly were like, well, he can't have his helmet on the whole time. Like I truly think that was probably a big thing. Like people they were like, no, you can't do that. Like you
Yeah.
need to show his fucking face. What do you mean? Like we can't.
Yeah. Do you
But
know what
now-
Nightfall is? So Nightfall is like how Locke became a Spartan, and he's on.
Oh.
They're on the detached part of Installation 4 when it gets blown up. You know, the one piece.
Yeah, yeah.
Comes off of it. They're on that piece, and I forget what they're looking for, but they're on it.
Just floating through space.
Yeah, they land on it. And like they're not on it when it
Oh,
blows
okay, I
off.
was gonna
Like
say,
they go to
that's
it, and he's an OD.
Whoa!
He's he's an ODST at this point, and
Oh, yeah.
they encounter like a hunter, but like the whole fucking thing was like really dark. You could barely see anything.
I
Like,
remember that. I isn't it like? Yeah, I think I've seen that.
it was like with a Halo Waypoint or something.
Yeah,
or, like,
yeah.
Didn't they use the guy who played Locke too, like in the game? Like
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah,
it
yeah,
Michael, Isn't it
Mike
what's his
Coulter.
name?
Yeah, yep.
He's a good actor. That sucks that didn't like.
Maybe he'll be in
Maybe,
Infinite.
yeah,
No,
maybe he
I
will be in
think he
Infinite.
will show up. I just don't
Yeah,
think,
I couldn't imagine like that they like
Just drop his character and
right. It just seems like they filled him up a little
Yeah.
too much.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, that's a lot of games from now. Let's get to the next level. Assault on the Control Room, the longest level in the game, and honestly, probably the most boring level in the game.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah. This is the synopsis. The level follows Master Chief on a mission to reach Halo's control room. The Covenant are deployed in great numbers and in more superior force than previously seen in the game, using Wraiths, Ghosts, and Banshees. The majority of the level is set in a snowy outdoor environment. Although the level seems to be natural, there are networks of tunnels and elevators built by Forerunners that connect sections of the constructs to the control room. And that actually leads me into like right as you get outside when you see the snow coming down and then Johnson's Pelican crash. Cortana mentions that the weather is natural and not artificial. Wonders why they chose inclement weather here, which I was like, huh.
Yeah, it is an interesting point.
Maybe
You
they're
think that
trying
they
to
just
keep
want
people away or make it more difficult, like geographically to like
to like be on the planet or the,
Right,
or the ring. Yeah.
right. And also like it's cold. Maybe that's something to do with like the control room's temperature. I was thinking because like server rooms are always freezing cold. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
They got that's obviously keep the server cool, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we get to we got a rendezvous with Fireteam Zulu, which is Johnson's team, and one of the tracks that plays right here for the first time is "Behold a Pale Horse," which is in like every Halo game. I was gonna like do the beat. What is it? Yeah, yeah, that's
Insert here.
Yeah, I will insert the track every time.
Over yours, but it'll be like
Yeah, it's our version, our cover.
Yeah, so you run into Fireteam Zulu and continue through the snow and mountains and the Forerunner facilities. Go for it.
I think I asked you guys this, but like these are called Forerunner facilities in the beginning, or are they ever really referenced as Forerunner tech? Like
I
within
think
the
so.
first
Yeah.
games,
Doesn't
right?
Cortana
Yeah.
say something
Yeah.
like
I
the
thought
Forerunner?
she
She
Yeah.
mentions it in this level once she interfaces with the with the cartographer. Yeah,
Makes sense.
But like, other than their
There
names,
that was it.
no
Yeah,
information.
that's cool. That's cool though to know that they did build on something like just that was really in the background for these later games. But yeah,
Right.
continue.
Yeah, they establish it, build off.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we can pick up the infamous rocket launcher. The M41 surface-to-surface rocket medium anti-vehicle assault weapon is commonly known as the SPNKR rocket launcher, which is actually on the side of it.
Wait, what is it? SP.
NKR.
Spunker.
Spunker.
There's
interesting.
it's an Easter egg. I'll get to it.
I thought it was like Sputnik for a second. I was like, that's interesting.
It's a heavy ordnance weapon of the UNSC arsenal. This rocket launcher fires 102 millimeter heat-shaped charge rockets. The launcher sports a 2-time scope and can fire rockets over long distances with devastating accuracy, although its altitude decreases over longer distances. When reloaded, the barrels are removed and 2 preloaded barrels are then inserted back into the unit. With this mechanism, a Marine can greatly reduce the weight he carries. Greatly reduce the weight he has to carry without throwing the weapon away like some contemporary disposable rocket launchers, which is interesting. But the design of this thing, like most of the weapons, is super iconic. Like they keep that like two-tube design.
And then like absolutely, I feel like it's
and he-
barely
and he
like it's
takes
had a
them
little
out
bit of an
and puts
update,
them
but
in.
for the most part, that's basically the exact same weapon we see.
Right,
in the
it
later-
changes a little, but
like
like
aesthetically, yeah.
it looks the same. So the M41 SSR is essentially a Halo Universe copy of the SPNKR X17/18 SM launcher
Nailed that.
from Bungie's Marathon trilogy. The word spanker is an abbreviation for the word spanker and serves as an inside joke for both fans and Bungie staff of all the older series.
So it's
Spanker, not spunker.
No, spanker.
Spanker.
Yeah, like spank a baby.
Spanker.
I'll
Yeah.
spank Trio.
Whoa.
Nice.
No, you
Sorry.
won't.
I'll watch.
The M4 the
I did not sign up for this.
The M41 has a test button that, when pressed, spins the barrels around. This animation only happens when the player is idle.
A lot of cool idle animations.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you notice there was a test button on it?
Did
yeah,
not.
it's like I don't know. It's like I think where he holds it.
It's like right there.
Holding it like this. It's like right here
by his thumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least in some of the maybe it's in that first one. Yeah, it's got to be. Anyway, we actually found a lot of vehicles here for the first time. Let's get into the Wraith, or even though we don't actually drive it,
You actually don't get into
You
it.
actually don't get into the Wraith.
The Type 26 assault gun carriage, more commonly known as the Wraith by the UNSC, is the Covenant's main heavy assault craft for ground engagements. The Wraith has been in service to the Covenant for over a century and has served in countless engagements during the Human-Covenant War. The Covenant deployed the Wraith as a first ground assault vehicle in tactical ground engagements, using the weapons platform to bring down structures in the way of ground forces attempting to advance in an area, as well as destroy enemy armor posing a threat to their own infantry. In addition, the Wraith is used to break the ranks of enemy infantry, both physically and by psychological force. The thing, I can understand that. The thing does have like a presence to it. Even as like a player, I feel like it's like, oh fuck, a Wraith. Like it's not it's not just a tank.
No, it's an interesting design too. The way like it almost like works like an old trebuchet in the way of like how it launches things. Like I think it is really cool. No, it's I agree. It has a presence.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This version of the Wraith has no anti-personnel weapons, so it doesn't have a turret in Halo 1. It is possible to snipe the driver out of it, but you still can't drive it. I think I've done that before. If you shoot the head of it, like in Halo 3, if you shoot the like where he gets in, it comes off and you can shoot.
Yeah.
So I guess it's kind of like the same premise. The visual design encompasses a more purple color scheme in this one's than later versions. The mortar design is different from the other games, more looking like a tube than like a plasma emitter that is in the other ones. On normal difficulty, the Wraith can survive two or three direct rockets before it being destroyed. While formidable, it is not without weakness. Wraiths can be flipped, knocking the Sangheili driver out of the vehicles, rendering it useless.
How do you flip it?
Yeah, I was gonna say
With a grenade? I mean,
I think you can
Ram it with the tank.
Can flip it.
Ram
like
it.
a tank bullet.
oh wow.
Just like the Halo Combat Evolved Ghost, the Wraith floats noticeably higher than in 2 and 3. And speaking of the Ghost, we're getting into it. Oh yeah!
it's barely even a
rehearsed
ghost.
that.
Yeah, really. The Type 32 Rapid Assault Vehicle, more commonly identified as the Ghost by the UNSC, is a Covenant standard reconnaissance and rapid attack vehicle. The Ghost is a one-person gravity effect vehicle primarily used in a reconnaissance and close infantry support or rapid attack role. Known for its speed and maneuverability, as well as the silent anti-gravity propulsion system, the Type 32's use in the field by the Covenant is varied and can adjust very quickly and easily for any role required at any moment. From a design standpoint, the Type 32 RAV is more akin to an aircraft rather than a ground vehicle. That's interesting.
Has like wings, you know? Kind of.
Yeah, it does.
Again, another iconic thing from Halo, like everything else.
Absolutely.
In Halo Combat Evolved 2, 3, Reach, and 4, a player can use the A button to lift the Ghost front. I never knew that.
Whoa.
If you press A, it lifts it up?
So what? You can like see under it? Like,
Or so it like, no, I guess so it like, when you're going up things, it kind of...
Oh,
when you're
you
driving?
mean like when... Oh.
Yeah. So if you get in it and press A, which I will do the next time.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
never fucking
It doesn't
knew
do it in
this.
CE?
No, it does.
Oh, really?
Every game except for ODST and 5.
No way. No.
Yeah,
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
actually
Next time I
nutty.
get in a
It might not be dramatic though.
No, you probably won't even know.
I mean, I guess angle it so that you're looking at it like this, and then it,
Yeah, I think so. That makes
Definitely
sense.
gonna have to take a look.
The Ghost is the only vehicle that the Marines are able to pilot in Halo Combat Evolved. I did not realize they don't
can't-
drive anything else.
They can't drive the Warthog?
I guess they don't.
Wow. Dude, that's wild because
It always gets dropped off, right?
I remember like I'm like getting in the gunner and I'm like, why aren't you guys getting in?
That is so funny. I did the exact same thing.
like,
what's
who's gonna
going
drive?
on?
You're getting in the
Like, oh, I
passenger
guess- yeah.
seat. Like,
That's funny.
The sound of the Ghost from this game's cannon firing is the same thing as the plasma pistol and plasma rifle and the Banshee. So they're all kind of feeding.
But are
off
they
the
different?
same-
But I assume they're tuned a tad differently, or is it literally the
guess.
the Ghost
exact
is just
same
probably a
sound?
little faster.
Yeah.
You know, just sped
Yeah.
up a little bit.
And like the Phantom, Wraith, Spirit, and Spectre, the ghost is named after a spiritual being. I did not actually realize that
Banshee.
until
That makes
being
total
said.
Yeah,
sense.
Ghosts.
Yeah, Wraith, Ghost,
Yeah, they're all
Banshee.
ghostly beings.
What was the thing in Halo 3? What's that called? Is that the Spectre? The one with the turn on the back and like the 2 side seats?
That's Halo 2. It's
Oh,
in
that's Halo 2?
That's the Prowler you're thinking
Oh.
of. Yeah,
Never
it's
mind.
it's a brute vehicle.
There's a I'm gonna have to look it up, but no, there's a Covenant vehicle with like a turn on the back.
Yeah,
and
it's the Spectre in Halo 2.
okay, Spectre. See,
Yeah.
Jeez,
And
man.
don't you get like the Hornet
Duh.
later from like the isn't that in well,
Yeah, the Hornet is the UNSC flying vehicle. Yeah. One thing before we talk about when we get to the Scorpion, how about the ice physics on the ground?
I didn't even notice them.
Really? Did you notice you glide on the ice as you walk on it?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's cool.
Yeah.
that's cool.
I didn't
Yeah.
notice, but that's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't
the
really
little
walk
things.
around.
The little,
I guess I could tell with the tank. Does the tank kind of slide around?
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I know you do. I noticed as soon as I got to, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I ever noticed this before, but now I do.
Just the little things.
So let's get into it. The Scorpion. The M808 main battle tank, commonly known as the Scorpion, is the most common armored fighting vehicle employed by the UNSC during the Human Covenant War. It is used in operations requiring heavy firepower or an anti-vehicular platform. Combining firepower, resilience, mobility, the Scorpion has proven its usefulness and formidability and has earned the respect of friend and foe alike. The Scorpion may not be the most powerful or fastest UNSC vehicle in the fleet, but for the most part, it represents the best possible balance between mobility and firepower.
What's stronger? Other than,
I don't know. Great question. Thanks, Wiki.
Fuckheads.
And I think at some point the terminal is like in
it's
where
at the end, towards like the very end.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like towards the end of the mission.
Oh, I think I know why I put the terminal here. I think I'd put it up to divvy things up,
Okay.
so we can just do the terminal.
Sure.
here.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fine.
closer to the end of the
Yeah,
level.
'cause
It's
I got a few things to go over.
So the 5th terminal is located at the bottom of a pit in front of the control room structure at the end of the level. The terminal is on the ground under the base of a large metal, like it's like a triangle. It's like diagonal. It's going like up towards the front of the building. But yeah, if you go down there, you'll see it. So around 60,000 years after the firing of the Halo array, a strange vessel, vessel.
I like
got
vessels
it.
better.
Vessels, yeah. Vessel, a strange vessel crash landed on Installation 04 in sector 1215.
All right, so this is right after the one we
This
talked
is
about.
this is like right after. So 26 hours later, Guilty Spark arrives at the crash site and noted that the crew had not attempted to exit the vessel. He marked 17 atmosphere leaks along the hull of the ship that had been caused prior to the crash. An analysis showed these gases to be similar to those that comprised Installation 04's atmosphere. Guilty Spark hoped to get answers from these life forms since he had many questions. Prior to the crash, the ship started broadcasting a distress signal that it repeated every 72.83 seconds. Had to be right on the point there. After attempting to translate it, Guilty Spark said, nah, I'm just going to block it. You guys, no help. As no communication revealing the location of any halos was allowed. As the ship appeared to be a short-range vessel, Guilty Spark believed there may have been more like it somewhere in the vicinity and could not take the chance of more life forms discovering the ring and possibly breaching flood containment. In accordance with procedure, 343 Guilty Spark did not attempt to make physical or remote contact with the occupants of the ship. Eventually, the atmosphere stopped leaking, and 2 weeks later, the distress signal was terminated. After the distress signal was terminated, the monitor had a massive sarcophagus constructed around the remains of the vessel over the course of the next week. Guilty Spark would then lament a missed chance to learn more about the rest of the galaxy and decide to relax his protocols somewhat the next time an alien vessel arrived so as not to miss another such opportunity.
So what is it?
I looked it up, and it's literally called a strange vessel on the wiki. It has no name.
Interesting.
I have no idea what it is. They don't really.
A strange vessel.
And like the picture of the sarcophagus, I've never seen it before.
Do you have it? Like
No,
on your phone?
I don't have the
Okay, that's
picture here. Yeah, I'll
Interesting.
go find it.
But
So he just studied them.
Basically, he like didn't want anyone to come over and try to help them. He's kind of an asshole.
But is anyone on the ring?
Is anyone? He said there were people on it. He said that there were life forms on it, but they just didn't come out.
No.
Yeah.
This is 3,000 years after they fire it?
60,000.
Okay. All right. This is a while. from
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I'm curious of when in our timeline that is. Anyway, so as you can realize, this is the first level I feel like where Halo's level design shows its flaws, because it is very samey, even though it's
Absolutely,
like
all the
kind
way
of
through,
different. But like when you go into like the Forerunner facility part, it's like Jesus Christ,
Gray,
and then we
yeah.
just have to go back to it later.
Yeah.
And this is the last unique level of the game. Actually, every other level after this is a
retread.
Sorry, besides no, I take that back. 343, and after the library, we start repeating levels. So this is
Yeah.
one of the levels we repeat. So 2 betrayals is assault in the control room again. Keys is truth and reconciliation again with an additional part, and then the maw is the pillar of autumn.
Pillar of Autumn.
Yeah, well, I think we talked about it earlier. It's kind of like a good and bad thing. Like, it's an interesting way to kind of like reuse assets. But like, especially for Assault in the control room, I fucking hate those areas. They
Yeah.
are
No, they're
really
not.
boring.
Yeah,
Like
they're
going down
annoying
into
and
like
boring,
the little tunnels.
Yeah, like it's just like all looks the same.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's
And
just
like,
boring.
yeah,
Same
I
room
don't
after
like
same
Assault in
room.
the control room. It's probably my least favorite level of this
I
game.
agree.
Yeah.
It's
So far, at
it
least,
is
for
a-
sure.
You literally like most levels you walk from point A to point B and there's not really much going on. So basically, towards the end of the level, we do come out to like pretty much the end, and we see the Banshee. This is the first time we can get in it, so that's why I'm going to talk about it
I
here.
didn't get in it.
I did.
I didn't
think
run
I
to
did.
it fast enough.
Yeah, you can get in it.
Yeah, the elite, I think, got in it. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Bastard.
You can kill
Bastard.
the elite.
Yeah.
So the Type 26 ground support aircraft, more commonly identified as the Banshee, is an isometric craft that is typically used for reconnaissance, ground support, and ground attack missions. Front of the craft is lightly armored. While not particularly vulnerable to small guns, it can be brought down easily by concentrated fire from infantry, which is interesting because that is true.
Yeah.
You can actually use an assault rifle and take a Banshee down.
Yeah, it gets close enough. That thing will rip it to
Yeah.
shreds.
Yeah. In most designs, the cowling of the craft is purple in color and acts as an outer shell. In Celtic mythology, a banshee is a woman spirit who wails for the death of a particular person before they die. The banshees have to steal souls from people to live. The high-pitched sound made by the banshee in Halo is a reference to this.
Interesting.
There
So-
wasn't much I could find for Silent Cartographer or Assault on the Control Room. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's the longest level. That's really it.
So yeah, pretty much. So if you guys don't get the banshee, how do you drop down? Do you just go to the other side and go down the elevator?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't. I got the Banshee.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
So
didn't.
so I got the banshee and you just fly right over. It's
I'm
kind of
pretty
funny that
I
go
blew
ahead.
it up and it wound up ending. It ended up on top of the terminal, so I had to like melee it a bunch of times to move it because I couldn't access it.
It's kind of funny that whole area down there. Like you can just kind of skip. Like you don't have to go down there at all.
Yeah.
Like the banshee really skips that
Yeah.
last fight, except when you get to the door and you actually go in. So after that point, at the end, this is probably the most interesting cutscene of the game so far. At the end, Master Chief reaches the control room and Cortana interfaces with the computer. She is horrified to learn that the Halo houses the Flood, and a weapons cache that Captain Keyes is looking for will lead him straight to the parasite. Cortana elects to stay behind while John rushes off to find the captain. So I'm gonna kind of read the dialogue from this part because it is pretty interesting. Who wants to be Cortana? I'll be Master Chief. Who wants to be Cortana? Trio,
Go.
you ready?
Yeah.
You all right?
Never been better. You can't imagine the wealth of information, the knowledge, so much, so fast. It's glorious.
So, what sort of weapon is it?
What are you talking about?
Let's stay focused. Halo. How do we use it against the Covenant?
This ring isn't a cudgel, you barbarian. It's something else, something much more important. The Covenant were right. This ring, it's Forerunner. Give me a second to access. Yes, the Forerunners built this place, what they call a fortress world, in order to know. No, that can't be. Oh, these Covenant fools. They must have known. There must have been signs.
Slow down. You're losing me.
The Covenant found something buried in this ring, something horrible, and now they're afraid.
Something buried where?
I look horrified. The captain. The captain. We've got to stop the captain.
Keys. What do we...
The weapons cache he's looking for. It's not really... We can't let him get inside.
I don't understand.
There's no time, damn it! Get out of here! Find Keys. Stop him before it's too late.
You added the damn it, but
I
think it was a
did,
good
but-
addition.
You did good. You did real good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
went,
so Cortana interfaces with the ring and like she like instantly. So the Covenant like before this point like have encountered the Flood, eventually they are only running from it. But Captain Keyes is looking for a weapons cache, but the weapon is the flood.
So the flood is basically just like a zombie parasite type
yeah.
deal that like the only way it spreads is if someone contracts it and then takes it with like Are they sentient though? Like can they fly a ship like the flood? Like
Yes.
Yes, they
That's what I
are.
thought.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
they're sentient.
Once they interact with a human or a
like a
organic
Yeah,
host,
yeah.
yes, they become sentient and smart, and they can pilot vehicles.
They like
we see that
Oh, that's
later.
right.
And
They're
especially in a
I
terminal.
totally forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And there also are pure forms of flood, but we don't see them until Halo 3. So we're only seeing, we'll see
Marines
them.
and elites, right?
Marines and
So
elites
how did
and
Cortana
spores.
know about the flood?
She interacts with
And,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
ring.
since they know how bad it was,
And the
Yeah,
ring
yeah.
knows the flood is on this the facility somewhere. And I don't think she like totally understands what the flood are.
she just
Yeah.
understands that the Covenant really don't like them.
Yeah, she was supposed. There was so originally she was supposed to go like mad with power here, like, and that's how the game was supposed to
really?
play out. Yeah,
I'm
that's
glad
like what
they
they
changed that.
I just yeah. I mean,
because she was gonna
imagine
like
how
when she
different we'd
interfaced with it,
become like Forerunner.
she was gonna go crazy and all this stuff.
Yeah, I think this part is really interesting because like the Halo turns into a horror game for like 2 levels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, it
I mean,
does.
actually, kind of like the rest of the game because we do fight the flood pretty much in every level after this. But yeah, like the 343 Guilty Spark is going to be a fun level to talk about because
Yeah, I can't wait.
It is
Yeah,
such a different level. So we're halfway through the game. We're just finishing Assault on the Control Room. We're going to be moving into the second half of the game. How you guys feeling on it so far?
It's kind of like a chore almost.
It's a bit of a drag.
It's a bit of a drag.
It is a
especially
bit of a
like
drag.
These levels, especially Assault on the Control Room, is very long.
And
I think Assault on the Control Room is the biggest offender.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's not. I don't think it's definitely like one of the worst levels in Halo. It's so uninteresting.
yeah, I don't.
Even though the end kind of has a cool
Yeah.
culmination.
Playing through this has made me realize a lot of my best memories, like my really big Halo memories, are 2. Like
Yeah.
truly, like now that and like don't get me wrong. There's a lot of like things the first half of this game where I'm like I remember specifically like you booting up and you doing those things with Chief where you're looking at the lights and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely been fun. It's definitely been nice to
yeah,
re-experience.
definitely fun.
But would I have, if I started this, would I have continued playing it unless we were doing this series?
Probably
Maybe
not.
not. Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, for me, I play a lot of older games, so I feel like I have a lot more tolerance for like bullshit of older games, and I don't think Halo has aged necessarily badly.
No,
it's
not at
just very bland.
Exactly.
Like,
I would agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of story going on to really keep you like super engaged.
Yeah.
As you're like blowing through these enemies, because this is all not our second playthroughs. Not obviously it's not our first, and it's
Absolutely.
definitely not our second.
Yeah.
Like I've played this game so many times, so it's kind of at this point where all these levels are second nature. I know this game extremely well, and yeah, it's kind of just like I'm trudging through, but I'm not necessarily having a bad time. It's just not doing anything.
Yeah, I'm
for me.
not having like an awful time
Yeah, I'm
or anything
definitely
like that. But it's
enjoying
just
it.
more like
This sucks.
it's more like now I'm ready to get to Halo.
Right,
2.
I'm
Like,
ready
you
to-
know what I-
ready to
yeah,
get
yeah,
into
to
the
really
meat.
get into the more meaty.
Did you guys see my clip that I sent?
Which
Me
one?
playing Assault on the Control Room?
Yes.
With my
no,
buddy.
You know
I
what's
missed-
funny? I got to that part and I heard the grunt throw the exact grenade that you got hit with, and I watched it come down, and I'm like, I know.
Motherfucker.
So,
Yeah.
so me and a buddy, we were driving around in a Warthog, and we were testing out the ice physics. We were sliding around, and a grunt, I guess, throws a grenade, and it bounces off the windshield and attaches to me on the gunner,
Oh,
and
no.
I
It's
jump
pretty
off
funny.
and run away.
and then you're
I
just
gotta
like,
watch.
oh my god.
Oh my god! Oh
Just
my god!
in
Oh my god!
shock.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's in the
I love it.
chat if you want to take a
Yeah,
look
let's
at it.
check it out.
And that's it.
I think that does it for us. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Re3. It's been a lot of fun to talk Halo with you guys, but we got more coming your way very soon. You can find this podcast everywhere podcasts are found. Just search Delco Nerd Network. We are on all these social medias. Just search at Delco Nerds. We have a nice, fun Discord channel where you can come and chat all things video games, movies, comic books, whatever you're feeling in pop culture. It's a great time, a lot of fun people. All this information can be found on our website, delconerdnetwork.com. You can shoot us an email, delconerds@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for listening. For Gooch, for Chris, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we will see you next time.